Hello, my lovely Aquarians. This is your reading for the week of July 13th, or when it resonates, and of course, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and it won't be for everybody. So the first thing that I saw earlier today when I was anticipating doing this reading for you, well, actually the first thing I heard was, "You're getting sleepy. You're getting very sleepy." And I went, "What is that?" And then I saw, the old image of the hypnotist swinging a pendulum or a watch or something in front of somebody and having them watch it until they go into a trance and he can program them in whatever way he wants. What's really fascinating about this is that you are the one that's holding the pendulum. It's not anybody else. It's you going, "You're getting very sleepy." So if you are the one that is hypnotizing yourself, I asked, what is the issue? The issue is that you have been in some ways very able to kind of put yourself into your own trance, which has worked for you when you've needed to kind of shut certain things down in order to be able to take action and move forward. But in the long term, it hasn't necessarily helped you, the shutting down piece. And we've talked about this before, Aquarius. It kind of comes quite naturally to you. And actually, in many ways, it's a skill that you have developed. So it's something you can use to the positive, which brings us back to the hypnosis thing. The first card that pulled out was hopelessness. And the idea of hopelessness here is that it's a heavy energy. It has no momentum because it presupposes there's nothing that can change the situation or state. It's usually accompanied with a sense of powerlessness. Often it's based on old disappointments, but is triggered by current events that resonate with something similar from the past. Well, I think this is fascinating because the next thing that you get is structured free flow, which is all about setting yourself some kind of agenda so that you can, thank you so much, setting yourself some kind of routine. Sorry, I just got to write this down before I forget it. Okay. So the thing about the structured free flow, the idea is to set yourself a structure so that you can have positive things that you want to do for yourself already linked to things that are habits for you, so that you can know you've set this in place. You don't have to think about it. It makes it a lot easier. You're pretty good, Aquarius, when it comes to routines. When you get them, when you really get them and you know they serve you, you often will do them and be able to stick with it. The thing is, the structured free flow is linked to the idea of positive triggers, which of course is a raising of the energy, which gets you out of the trance of hopelessness, the trance that things will not change. And what Spirit just reminded me of was this: if you can hypnotize yourself into the behaviors or the states of mind that you don't like, you also can change them and re-hypnotize yourself. If you're feeling hopeless, if you're feeling powerlessness around making changes in your life that you know you want to make, that you know would increase the quality of your living, the quality of your life and your well-being, and you're finding yourself stuck, say for example, not being able to go to bed on time, not being able to stick with a healthy diet, any of the not sticking to any kind of spiritual grounding, spiritual practice. Those are just examples. There can be tons of them. But if you're having difficulty maintaining any of those things, there's a two-step process. One is allow yourself to look at it and know that you have hypnotized yourself into believing that it was hopeless. You've hypnotized yourself into thinking it can't change. Now, how can you re-hypnotize yourself? Well, by creating the structured free flow around positive triggers. But it's important for you to realize that you are the one that's hypnotizing yourself. So I said it's a two-step process. The first one is look at what it is. Okay. Look at what the issue is and allow yourself to consider where the first time you acknowledge this as a difficulty. Notice what other memories come up, what other faces come up around that. And by doing that and by allowing yourself to maintain a positive energy, but again, positive triggers, this is going to help you investigate your emotions in a way that are going to be less inclined to be frightening or scary or just something you don't want to do. It can be the kind of thing that opens it up for you so that you can get curious and look at that. You get structured free flow and then you get structure. So this is important for you. And it's specifically important around you rehypnotizing yourself. Okay? This is really, okay. You also get childhood prayers, which says to me, okay, there's definitely something or some things for many of you that are listening that go back to childhood that kind of anchored you into this belief, right? So it might have been modeled, it might have been taught, it might have been implied. It might have been one of those things that is just a part of your family, your family history, your family story that doesn't actually even really get spoken or modeled. It's just understood at an unconscious, nonverbal level. So what you're being told is this part of what it is okay. Do you want the problem or do you want the solution? This is where you go, okay, well, if the issue is I can't go to sleep, please don't keep complaining about not being able to go to sleep. I'm talking to myself here, even though I'm not Aquarius. About not being able to get to sleep. This is something, well, okay, I'm not going to keep talking about it. What I'm going to talk about is how lovely it's going to be. And isn't it wonderful that I find the solution so that I can sleep in a way that is better for me, that has a better schedule for me. Okay? That's just an example. And is there something else that you want to say about that? Yes. In terms of the childhood prayers, one of the things that this card says, it's important. This is really important, Aquarius. One of the things that this card talks about is saying your prayers in the feminine gender. Now, it's about resurrecting whatever prayers you did. It doesn't matter if it was grace or the Lord's Prayer when you went to sleep or now I lay me down to sleep. Can you say the prayers now addressing any deity in a female gender? It's a maternal quality. It's a mothering quality. And that, I think, is really, really important somehow for you, that there is something here for you that as you bring more of that maternal mothering into yourself, as you awaken the maternal in yourself, it doesn't matter if you have kids or not, and it doesn't matter if you're female or not, if you awaken the maternal energy, the female maternal energy in yourself, that is where you're going to find you can mother yourself into a new hypnotic state where you are dealing with the solution, where you have the solution, not the problem. That has the quality of energy that is going to help you embody and embrace the change you want to make. So it's not just coming from force, it's coming from an embodied desire and choice and intention. A good intention, the intention which is full of positive triggers and loving energy, rather than must do, I'm bad because can't, I'm broken, I'm this. No. All of this, it's about loving. I know it goes back to the same thing, loving yourself. Can you mother yourself? Can you bring that loving, tender energy that is going to want to make sure a baby is fed, that is going to want to make sure a baby gets to sleep, that is going to want to make sure a baby has whatever that baby needs? And that baby is you and that mother is you. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, Aquarius. This is quite big and I've got all sorts of shivers. So I hope when you listen to it again, it's going to make sense to you in a way that you can apply, because I feel like this is a really, really, really very, well, it's practical spirituality. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, my dears. Much love.